A world on the brink. The year was 1914, and Europe stood like a powder keg soaked in gasoline. Old alliances, imperial ambitions, nationalism, and ethnic tensions had created a volatile environment. Yet, for the common man walking the cobbled streets of Vienna, Paris, or Berlin, war was the last thing on their mind. Trade was flourishing, the arts were blossoming, and modernity was in full swing. But beneath this surface of civility simmered ancient grudges and political rivalries, waiting for a spark. That spark came on a quiet Sunday morning in Sarajevo. The man who would be emperor, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, wasn't a popular figure, not even within his own court. He was serious, politically conservative, and married for love rather than diplomacy, which infuriated the aristocracy. Still, he represented the future of the empire. His plan to visit Bosnia on June 28, 1914, was symbolic. It was a gesture to show unity between Austria-Hungary and its diverse, restive Balkan provinces. The date, however, was deeply provocative. It was the anniversary of the 1389 Battle of Kosovo, a day of mourning for Serbs, remembered as a symbol of resistance against foreign domination. A conspiracy brews in the shadows of Belgrade and Sarajevo. A group of young Serbian nationalists, radical, idealistic, and angry, were plotting something bold and terrible. They were members of the Black Hand, a secret society with a mission: free all Serbs from foreign rule. Gavrilo Princip was among them, thin, sickly, and just 19 years old. He carried with him a burning hatred for the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Along with 6 other conspirators, he was smuggled into Bosnia with pistols, cyanide, and grenades. Their mission was clear: assassinate Franz Ferdinand. Sarajevo, the city of fate. On June 28th, Franz Ferdinand and his wife, Sophie, arrived in Sarajevo. The city was tense, security was lax, and the route of the royal motorcade had been publicly announced an unusual and foolish move. The assassins lined the motorcade route. The first attempt came early. Nerliko Vabranovia threw a grenade at the Archduke's car. The bomb missed, injuring officers in the car behind. Vabranovia swallowed cyanide and jumped into the river. The poison only made him vomit, and the river was barely knee-deep. He was arrested on the spot. The Archduke, shaken but unharmed, insisted on continuing his visit. Fate intervenes. After visiting the wounded at the hospital, Franz Ferdinand decided to take a different route back away from the city center. But no one informed the driver. At a wrong turn near a small cafe, the car stalled right in front of Gavrilo Princip, who had just left, disappointed that the opportunity had slipped. Now, the target sat mere feet from him. He stepped forward, raised his pistol, and fired 2 shots. One bullet struck Sophie in the abdomen. The second pierced Franz Ferdinand's neck. They both died minutes later. Shockwaves through empires. The world reeled. Austria-Hungary was outraged. The assassination was blamed on Serbia, which denied involvement. But the Austrian leadership saw this as an opportunity to crush Serbian nationalism once and for all. Backed by Germany, Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia with harsh demands. Serbia accepted most, but not all. It was enough. Austria-Hungary declared war. Within a week, Europe's tangled web of alliances pulled nation after nation into the conflict. Russia mobilized in defense of Serbia. Germany declared war on Russia. France, bound to Russia, was next. Germany invaded Belgium to reach France. Britain declared war on Germany. The world was ablaze. From bullet to battlefield, what began as a regional crisis became World War I. Millions of men were mobilized across Europe. Trench warfare turned fields into killing grounds. New weapons, tanks, poison gas, machine guns transformed war into industrial slaughter. The world had never seen such devastation. By war's end in 1918, over 20 million were dead. Empires fell: Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, Russian and German. The seeds of World War II were sown in the harsh Treaty of Versailles, all from a single gunshot in Sarajevo. The legacy of a moment. Franz Ferdinand's assassination wasn't the only cause of World War I. But it was the catalyst. The world was already unstable. Alliances were rigid. Pride and paranoia ruled diplomacy. But it was that single moment, when a teenager fired 2 bullets, that set the dominoes falling. Gavrilo Princip died in prison, weakened by tuberculosis. He had wanted to free his people, but instead triggered a war that destroyed empires and led to even greater horrors ahead. Epilogue. What if? Historians often ask what if Franz Ferdinand had lived. He was a moderate. He opposed war with Serbia. He believed in federalizing the empire to give minorities more rights. Perhaps, had he lived, World War I could have been delayed or even avoided. But history doesn't work in what-ifs. The world we live in today, its borders, politics, and pains was shaped by that gunshot on a Sarajevo street in 1914. And so, the shot that killed an Archduke also ignited a century of fire.